Marketing, that bullshit you think your app doesn't need. We're going to talk about the best ways to market your app, and we're starting with Steve Jobs. Thanks for joining us in this final of our 10-part series on everything that you need to know to build your first app, except for the code. Hang out with us until the end, and we will give you one specific tip that you need to put into your marketing plan to help boost the chances of your app's success. Back in 1997, when Steve Jobs returned to Apple's computers, it was only a few weeks away from bankruptcy. And what did he do immediately? Was it focused on the products? No. There was a few marketing things that were done. Let's go over them. Number one, the Think Different campaign. I'm sure you guys all remember it. Not sure how old you are, actually. Most of you should remember it. And it used artists and various other people. I think they were mostly all artists, like Jim Henson, Pablo Picasso, John Lennon, lots of artists. And the term, Einstein, I guess he was an artist of physics. And the term was just think different. That's it. They were trying to speak to the core principles of Apple. And then it wasn't just think different. What did he do then? Different colored computers. And then I before everything, iMac. iMac was the encapsulated everything that was in that particular machine. It was back when they still had cathode tubes, so the monitors were really deep. And they would come in any color. And they had the word I, letter I, in front of it. All of these really aren't changes to what's going on under the hood. I mean, perhaps it was, of course, he was over at Next, and he brought a lot of the stuff from Next into what the computers were going through, and that I think was iOS 10. iOS 10 was also huge, by the way. I guess that would be the second part of how to market your app. He did have a new operating system that was really, really sweet. I should really fact check that. So marketing, that part of marketing was legend. And Steve Jobs really focused on the core principles, the first principles, if you want to call them that, the first principles of what it meant to be Apple. Figure that out for your company. Go to your company's first principles. Focus on your company's first principles separate from the software. And that brings us to number two, how to market your app. Have a shovel-ready app. Have great freaking useful software that people actually want. Are you pulling it out of your pocket right now to open your app? Is this something that you can see yourself and other people using, maybe not every day, I mean, it could be like a random number generator, for example, which you only need to use to settle bar bets. But it has a use and a function, and it is really important and valuable. And how will you know if your idea has that use and function and is valuable? Let's move on to the third way to market your app, customer validation. Again, start your app before you have an app and start marketing it like that so you can see what your customers want in it. What features are the most important? What features you don't need? In that customer validation process, you're going to have an MVP. Maybe you've gotten one of our unicorn machines, and you're going to be able to interact with would-be users to see what they think. Ask for their advice. Tell them that they're going to get something special for being one of your first beta testers. It's what we're doing over at Work Visa Solutions. Works pretty good. People will have questions. We answer them. And then we know, okay, maybe this should be a feature. Maybe it shouldn't be a feature. Maybe we can just handle it with questions. But you have that interaction, and you're growing your goodwill. Grow your app's goodwill as quickly as you can, because that is the stuff that's going to get into the word of mouth. Your customer validation that you're doing is these are the seeds, your first seeds of your word of mouth campaign. And that word of mouth campaign is, of course, the most important aspect of your app's marketing journey. Because if somebody is telling somebody else about your app, it means more than if you tell them about your app. It's true. I've read books on it. Probably I've mentioned Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman. It may have been one of those. It may have been another psychology book. But if I tell you that I'm great, you're not going to believe it so much because, it's me and I'm saying I'm great, as opposed to if one of our mutual acquaintances tells you that I'm great. If somebody else tells you that something is good, you're more likely to believe it because they aren't you. They're a third-person observer, and if they like it, that vote of confidence is worth more than your advertising pitch. That's why word-of-mouth advertising works the best, because it's not coming from you. I realize Apple Computers did a great job on it with the Think Differently campaign, and you know, maybe you could reskin your app so it could have different colors. I'm pretty sure like a lot of apps already have that, where you could have different themes. So, you know, light, dark, all those weird colors. Whatever. I mean, you know, that was just Apple Computers, iMac. It was marketing. I mean, it was a gimmick. It was, oh, I can have a blue computer. You know, that's really all it was, but that's something you got to consider. Think about how you are going to delight the people that are at your first principles, your company's first principles. All right, so now you have an app and it's working really well. You've got customer validation, so you have some word of mouth advertising going on at a very micro level from your beta testers. Now, if you have something that you think somebody can look at once, because they just get one look, something that's that good, then you can start reaching out to influencers in the space. Now, influencers in the space would be people on social media that have a huge following. Famous people, I guess, would be an example. But it can also be reviews and publications so that they can reach other people about your cool new app that we are totally helping you build at Stumari.co. Of course, this influencer that you reach out to, who probably totally likes your app because it's really freaking sweet, and they have 1 million followers on Instagram, they may not work for free. They may not tweet for free because they know that they have this huge billboard platform that you want, and that's kind of just how advertising works, isn't it? Which brings us to another way that you can market your app: buying advertisements. Advertisements work. That's why there's so freaking many of them. And today you can target ads so well. So if you've started from your customer validation and you've got your beta testers, you're starting to get some demographic data about the people that actually want your app. And then with your advertising, what do you need for advertising? That's right, keywords. So you're going to put your keywords together. I've been using workpieces.solutions a lot because that's, you know, the code that we were building at Stumari. But here are the keywords that I put into for Google to start getting the advertising campaigns running. H-1B sponsorship, H-1B job, and then sometimes you like to use questions as a keyword. How do I get an H-1B visa? Who's going to sponsor my H-1B visa? Can H-1B visas? You seeing a trend here? You need to focus on who your users are so that you can reach them. I cannot tell you the level of granularity that you can put ads out on. It's really amazing nowadays. So get those ads going, and I would say you really use that with your customer validation, because when you're approaching your customer validation, you will start defining your demographic and therefore set your keywords that you need to reach that demographic, and you'll be able to review the data to see what keywords are reaching your users the cheapest. And then you'll be able to focus on those and talk to the people and refine. I mean, advertising, anything like that, is always a refining process. If you're running some Facebook ads to get likes for your page, for example, and it's over $1, stop running it. You shouldn't, I don't know, sometimes, I mean, maybe like a like for 25 cents, but if you're not getting a like for less than 25 cents, something's wrong, because it's just a like on Facebook. Another way to market your app is to think about how users are coming to it. What are they using to find your app? A lot of people use Instagram, Facebook, great advertising platform, and a lot of people also use Google, YouTube, great advertising platform. So from those two sources, are you going to derive 80% of your users? Then can't you make your code a little bit more user-friendly by having logins for Facebook and Google in the sign-up fields? Use them, because you're pulling those people from the search or from their social media. Keep them in where they're already logged in. Make it easier for them, because you don't want user drop-off, and it just is another method that you can use to make your app more marketing friendly. Finally, please consider doing the App Store optimization stuff and the SEO stuff. I say that last because it's not going to save you. It's the tail that wags the dog. It ain't the dog, not even by a long shot. ASO or whatever they want to call it. You're trying to predict what people are searching in the app stores. Great. You can also buy ads on the App Store to get downloads. Frickin' cool. However, are people going to just download your app? Or are they going to download it, open it, use it, and tell somebody about it? That's what you're going for. You're going for the open, use it, tell somebody. Well, that's a pretty good summation of the marketing. All right. One more thing. I forgot something. Don't want to be forgetting this. Well, that about sums it up for our 10-part series and everything that you need to know to build your first app, except for the code. I've had a lot of fun this past month putting together this 10-part series, creating a website that has unicorn machines, and the first unicorn machine that we put into the unicorn machine is, man, that's a lot of unicorn machines. I will stop using that, but I got to get to the office, and now I can work with any company that I want, even yours. So if you've enjoyed this, please click subscribe, smash us a like button because the algorithm needs it, and I'll be back real soon with another episode on something related to operating your software business. If you want to get in touch with me before then, just email me at tom@stumari.co or head over to stumari.co and contact me. Until then, go Majus.